Yo, has been a while. I'm tired, but it had to be. Yes, let me see. Okay. Okay, man. Sorry guys for those 0 people watching right now. Always watching. Let me see. Damn, 10 people. Can I get a hi or so in the chat? Actually, let me see if the chat feature works. GM. Maybe with a bit of a delay. Yes, it works. Nice. Great. Okay. Can I see who's watching? No, I think only after the stream. Fuck it. Okay. Yeah. Am I audible? Can you guys hear me? Actually, let me just verify. Okay. Let me pull that to the side here. That I can close. That I can close as well. Okay. For Twitter, I should put this on my main screen, and let me edit the screen share here. Sorry. How does this work? Yeah, like this. Yeah, so market is down. Yeah, it all feels a bit weird. No one knows where it's going. Michael Saylor started buying again after he dipped, which doesn't surprise me. There's a lot of things actually we can touch on today. Let me write my agenda down for today. So I want to talk about Zcash, Saylor, actually I want to talk about penny stocks because this is something that has been going through my head for a while now. I want to talk about funny money and how it's going. And scroll the timeline with you guys. Yeah. So that's that. Oh, let me start recording. Fuck, I didn't record the stream again. But now I did. Great. Let me add the screen. How does this work? Allow. Okay. Wait a minute. Ah, that's how it worked. Okay. One sec. Okay. It's gonna be here. And now we got the timeline here. Oh. And great, lock that in. Lock that in and transition. So now we got that. Great. Actually, let me pick that. Great. Okay. Nice. So, what happened with Zcash? So apparently what happened was Zcash crashed after Claude found a critical vulnerability, which went for 4 years unnoticed. I'm actually curious if this is this Mythos model or what has been there. I'm not sure. Oh fuck. Let's dive into it. Crazy, that's the founder?
And reason about what should happen in the world. But then, once you've done that, once you come...
Okay, let's see what they...
I was saying, oh, it would have been able to do like unvalid state transactions, which I mean, it seems like the honest way to read that is like there was a double spend bug. What they did is first they did like a soft fork to censor orchard transactions. So essentially what that is they just rejected them. So I think it was about like a 24-hour time window, but for however long, they basically said, hey, everybody run this soft fork software, miners, exchanges, wallet operators, and it basically means if anybody went to do a transaction within the orchard pool, we would just pretend, like just ignore it, right? Like not include the transaction. The point of that was essentially like, while they're trying to fix the bug, if somebody else would have discovered the bug, they could exploit it. But by blocking all transactions, it can't be exploited. So then they fix the bug, and then they do a hard fork that essentially moved the ZK circuit like to this new valid logic that doesn't have the exploit anymore. So there's a lot of like different pieces. Like the first piece is like, let's be clear, it's just not good. I don't see how it's good that Zottle can ping everybody, like just ignore that these privacy pools exist, and they can like instantly get everybody to do that, and then that can also just like hit the network with a hard fork, and we're all just like on this new network now. Like I understand the response where people are like, oh, it was easy to coordinate because the bug was so serious. So if there was a hyper serious Bitcoin bug, maybe they'd coordinate too. But there is a hyper serious Bitcoin bug named Quantum that we need to coordinate, right? So like, end of the day, like you just have to admit that like it's a concerning amount of centralization. Even though they did the right thing, like it would have been worse to leave the bug in there for sure, right? But like it exposes and reminds us of like candidly like the value of Bitcoin not doing anything. Like that's problem number one is centralization. Problem number two is the privacy pools. They operate on like what's called the turnstile.
Okay.
So essentially, if I deposit 10 ZEC and you deposit 10 ZEC into the pool, the network knows that there's 10 ZEC in the private pool. You and I can swap back and forth all day, and it will be hidden, but they know the total amount. That way, like when I go to withdraw, I can't withdraw 30 ZEC because I'll put in 10 and you put in 10. The network knows there's only 20 ZEC. But imagine I use this exploit and I have like I really have 10 ZEC, but I sent a bunch of other wallets in there and I own 10 ZEC on double spends, and then I could just drain the pool like classic DeFi style. I could pull out all the way up in turnstile. So what that essentially means is, so like Zcash network, there's still the same known amount of tokens. But in the privacy pool, it could have been the case where, say there's a million deposits in there, some guy just went and created 17 million.
Let me quickly check the audio.
All the way up in turnstile.
And that's what I thought, that there's double audio. No one tells me.
Private tokens that nobody knows about because it's a privacy pool. Nobody knows it was actually exploited. Now, he could only pull out the 1 million, but what happens if other people start to integrate like, oh, I can buy this thing?
Audio, no one tells me.
Private tokens that nobody knows about because it's a privacy pool. Nobody knows it was actually exploited. Now, he could only with private tokens, I don't ever have to leave the pool to buy a Chipotle burrito, or I don't ever have to leave the pool to do a do a transaction with near intent, and you never know. Happens if other people start to integrate like, oh, I can buy this thing with private tokens, and I don't ever have to leave the pool to buy a Chipotle burrito, or I don't ever have to leave the pool to do a do a transaction with near intent, and you never know.
exploit. Two things could go down. And this is the thing that has me slightly worried about that. Zcash could do a full audit and show an entire history of how many coins exist. How many coins exist?
Zach deserves a high price.
And this is the thing that has me slightly...
So if people are... Look, I mean, like, it's funny, for the longest time, we've had this kind of very purist perspective. It's like, we're not ever going to... When I first...
That's crazy. A lot of people got rinsed there. A lot of people got rinsed on Zcash. Plus, I mean, actually, when you think about it, it all kind of first Sailor sales, then the Zcash situation, then Arthur Hayes starts dumping, and this all within like 1 week, within a 1 week time frame. When you think about it, as everyone was thinking, the market started to recover, and we're on a good way now. People started gaining confidence back, started putting back in capital. It all rinsed at once in 1 week. Bitcoin, Zcash, hype. What else was dumped after having like a good run for the last couple of weeks? Yeah, a lot of things. So that was not cool. That was not cool. So what I was seeing here is Sailor started buying back. Actually, this just happened just right now. Damn, Sailor started buying back. So what does it mean for ticker BTC? Actually, I will do this tweet as well. I like stream tweets. Let me copy that. Thanks for street bets.
Candace, are you still with us?
Right now, in the year 2026, there'll probably be $1 trillion of capital.
Recently, I actually put all my money, every penny, every dollar I have, and I have taken it and put it into Bitcoin.
Yeah, crazy. Crazy. Usually I'm late, but for me, seeing this within the first hour of him tweeting is good. I think it's a good time to buy back. Anything else he said? No. Man, constant bull posting. My take is that when Sailor was selling, because it was also such a irrelevant amount, relatively speaking, it was more of him testing the waters, what would happen, but not a clear intent of actually selling. So yeah, he's buying back. Maybe we bottomed. I mean, the sentiment feels like it bottomed. Which brings me to the next topic. I feel like, yeah, sentiment is shit. And oh man.
All the questions surrounding whether it's really me. Well, it really is me. I need my glasses. And what I want to tell everybody is this, is that the reason I'm doing this is because for 7 years, for a whole myriad of reasons, I haven't been able to tell my story. Part of it had to do with the fact that it was really never about me. It was about power, it was about the presidency, and it was my place to be even more of a distraction than obviously my addiction and troubles created for the administration or for anybody else. But now I don't have to take that into consideration. And I have a lot to say. And mostly though, what I want to say is this, is that
what's the Hunter Biden lore?
One thing that I know I am qualified to talk about is addiction and recovery. There are 50 million Americans suffering. With radical honesty, I don't think it's very radical, but it's honest. And the amount of love and support.
What did he do? What did he do?
That you get to true gratitude.
So what's the situation with him? What's the lore? Some artist or what? Wasn't he talking about Bitcoin? Wait. I don't get what's the situation with him and what this is about, but yeah, let's go on. New Zealand? Oh. So.
Money to pour from like commodities. It's not going to be an easy cycle yet again. Don't listen to anybody telling you it's going to be an easy cycle. For us to have gotten an easy cycle, we would have needed money to pour from like commodities, TradFi, everything else, retail, into crypto. The only way crypto is easy is if you think of every single meta or every single sector of crypto as a pie, and that pie gets bigger in its entirety. when the entire pie is getting bigger, yes, it's genius season. No matter what you buy, it goes up. Well, that's not happening. We're getting rotations into every market other than crypto,
Yeah,
and then
that's
we're
true.
getting within crypto market rotations. So they'll buy privacy meta like 1 week, and then they'll shift into the Dex meta, into the I don't know, Oracle meta, etc., etc. Doesn't matter. Like pick a meta, give it like 3 days, and then watch it rotate into something else, with the exception of like hype. It's not easy mode. Nobody else is coming in to save you. It's hard mode. It blows. There's no end in sight to it. I don't see why like next bull run is gonna matter any much more, because like okay, it's another half.
So in regards to that, this brings me to the thoughts that I had on penny stocks. And hear me out on this. So first of all, DEF cannot sell, because if you're on a publicly traded company on the board or whatever, you gotta disclose yourselves. So that's one. Two, many people don't know, or at least I was not aware, like the big exchanges like NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, all those, they really have shitcoins in there. They really have shitcoins in there. There's like publicly traded companies on the NASDAQ below 1 million market cap. I was shocked. I was shocked. With the founders and CEOs doxed, with some of them having like crazy PE ratios where like the stock is trading at like $1 million market cap, but they make like 5 million a year in revenue, reported and audited. That's crazy. So what I was thinking is, why don't we bring the trenches to the stocks? Really, like imagine some boomer SME company being like pumped 100x by a bunch of in a FNF Discord, and the founder coming on, or like the CEO of like the NASDAQ company coming on a Discord AMA, and like like people physically being able to show up to the offices or headquarters of those companies. I find that a very funny idea, and I somewhere heard like the most funny outcome is the most likely one, and I think like actually trading like those shitty penny stocks as if it was the trenches, that would be funny. And I think it's also psychologically way easier to rally behind something like stocks than with a company that like has an operating business, that has employees, that has like financial statements, annual reports. You probably can find the home address of the CEO. You definitely can find the legal address of the company and where it's headquartered. It's like like a 500k or even a $1 million market cap shitter, you might not hold overnight, but like a stock like that you can hold overnight. The only problems I see is with liquidity, slippage, spread, and those type of things. But like as soon as like people rally behind it and start trading it, am I missing something? Really, I think this could be it. I think this could be it, and this is something no one is touching in crypto right now. Maybe I will. Maybe that's a new funny money feature that could be the mode that we need. Really. Maybe that's that. Maybe that's what we need. Let me know. I'm curious. So yeah. Aside of that, what else? Covered the penny stocks topic. Funny money. Go download it. Wait. Use the QR code. I've made some significant improvements to the trading performance. Like trades will work now very smooth. You can buy without gas anything. You can buy like 5k market cap coins on Pump Fund with USDC. So yeah, I really improved that. What else? Did some minor improvements else. And yeah, overall, what should I say? Market a bit down. I definitely noticed this in the volumes, but else we're grinding, fucking around and finding out and seeing what sticks. We're seeing what sticks. So yeah, that's the situation at the moment. Yeah. What else? Let's get scrolling the timeline a bit.
Sorry, Piston, we actually disabled the future it was for confidential transfers. It happened in Zcash's future. I mean, Zcash has 3 pools for a reason right now. It happened in Monero. It happened in Bitcoin. This stuff can happen, but like the thing that gives me confidence with Zcash is that, and this is also why I'm relatively bearish on privacy protocols that are built on as smart contracts on different types of solutions, because unless you have some auditability, so for example, near confidential stuff has some audit.
Man, you really don't want to get a tweet like this by Levels.io. What I wanna like.
At least maybe 6 to 18 months. But when we're done with that, we will go up again, and hopefully this time not.
Yeah, this again brings me to the point. I think we're ready for penny stocks. I think we're ready for it. I think this is something that tomorrow morning I will start doing. I already started preparing it. I already have vaguely an idea of how I could build it. So there's like a couple ways to it. Either like I just let people drop in their API key of a brokerage account and become a front end. So that's the most straightforward. I don't have to build the infra. Or it would be something like synthetic stocks, where basically just like peg it on a dynamic bonding curve or so that updates and rebalances based on like Nasdaq API or whatever. Man, getting Oracle feeds for all that shit will not be possible. But I'm sure I could find some workaround. Yeah, we'll see. I'll keep you posted. Actually, I'll DM. Right? Does he have DMs open? Ah, that's that guy. Okay. 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 No, that's that.
Purchase from the buyer, but I think it was a great sell from Logan.
Wow.
Else I think, oh, that's cool. Else, I think I covered it all that I wanted to talk about. Let me just quickly check on market cap. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. That they quickly recovered. What are they doing? Oof. Yeah, man, all-time low, as it should be. Apex set. Okay. Damn. When did BNB silently overtake USDC in market cap? When did that happen? Crazy. Crazy. But yeah, I think that's it for me for today. It was a good little stream. Time to say goodbye and crazy. Crazy. But yeah, I think that's it for me today, and I try to keep streaming more often, but I'm busy, so what should I say? Talk soon, guys.